Hey Joe,
Right.
we spoke to you after Twickenham, and I remember you saying that on that day you wanted to bring the things that kind of set you apart as Irish. You talked about just being really physical and kind of high energy. Can you just maybe elaborate on that a little bit and why you feel those are traits that do maybe set you apart from other teams?
I suppose we were saying those sort of no talent moments, working hard off the ball, stuff people probably in the stands don't see that make a big difference. Like maybe you're chasing after, you're on your kick chase, people covering it on an outlet and making things happen. So I suppose it's probably something we double down on. Just maybe the start of Six Nations we looked a small bit clunky maybe in the first game. That didn't really look like us, but when we're at our best, everyone's on it the whole time, moving quick, physical, making things happen, making people around you feel good. Probably something we talk about a lot. So just that kind of energy, work rate, making things happen, attacking teams together. So it's a bit of general, but that's kind of simple stuff, but it makes a big difference.
Are they things you need to get a feel of kind of early in the game? I mean, you've spoken before about feeling good if you can get an early turnover, so you can get in there.
Yeah, sometimes stuff doesn't come your way, but yeah, definitely when you get get an early moment in the game really gets you in, or maybe you're attacking the first kind of even like 5 minutes of game, you're like maybe the 80 minutes looks like a big deal altogether, but if you maybe kind of think I'm just going to attack this first 5 minutes super hard, first 10-20 minutes, gets you into it, and then it becomes a bit easier off the back of that. So I think that's something to mindset that kind of serves as well.
How have you found the last few weeks, just coming from that huge performance in Twickenham and then the different role of coming off the bench last weekend?
It's been really good. Got a good week of training against 20s, and then coming off the bench it's a different role, but it's enjoyable as well. You got to bring energy, you kind of empty the tank a bit. Sometimes you're a bit wrecked after. You should feel like you should be fresh, but you don't get your second win. But I enjoy coming off the bench, and it's a tough physical game against Wales, but we're happy down here to get the bonus point.
What was going through your head when you were on the bench, because you had to wait a couple of minutes on the line before you came on, and there was a scrum. It looked like you were mad to get in there.
Yeah, I took my jacket off. It was a bit cold on Friday night, and ended up standing there for like 5 minutes. So I think you kind of want to be feeling flat and cold going onto the pitch. So I'd want to feel kind of energised coming on. So there's a crew of us kind of resting a bit of TC, I think, on the side of the pitch before getting on, make them feel primed. But you kind of just want to make sure you're kind of up to the pitch of the game, because you're coming into it. Maybe you might be sitting down for 15 minutes, so probably want to make sure I felt kind of zippy and ready to go.
There's been plenty of niggle between Ireland and Scotland over the years. How much of that side of the game do you enjoy, and what's the key in terms of staying on the right side of the niggle?
I suppose I don't really know. I suppose the niggle in the game, it's when you've had a maybe rival your team, you play a lot. We played, like those. We played them in the URC Glasgow's, all the Scottish players. It definitely feels like there's a bit more in the contacts, and I suppose the main thing is in the rugby match that you're on top. So you feel like when you're dominating the collisions, set piece, you're going well. That's sort of the key. What happens inside the pitch when you're playing the game is the key part. So we're looking to be trying to be at our best on Saturday.
How pleased have you been with the Lineout throughout the campaign?
Yeah, I think it's been pretty good. We felt sharp going in, winning our own ball. Probably would like to maybe get a bit more out of turnover balls in the air, but we're still finding kind of ways to disrupt teams a bit. So no, it's been pretty positive, and feels like something we're kind of getting better week on week.
And just to follow on that, they're obviously missing their first choice locks through injury. What does that change for you in terms of the pictures that you're potentially expecting on Saturday? Yeah, it's still a lot of experience there, obviously, in their locks to come in. So it probably you might look a bit like the different callers might like certain balls. It's just when you're reviewing it, might go back to games where different callers what they've done. But I'm assuming we obviously know the forwards coach from summer and things like that, so I'm sure he'll stick to a pretty similar plan what he likes to do. So be ready for that, and then bit more on the different personnel coming in, but I don't think it changes massively. I'm sure they'll stick to a similar plan.
Thanks.
Hey Joe, can I ask you about the little kick down the line and whether we might see more of that? Is it just impulsive in the moment, or did you always have that up the sleeve?
I think I always had up the sleeve. No, I don't kick very much in games. I don't think I've kicked in an international game, but I felt pretty natural when it happened. I don't know. It just came off. Thankfully, it came off the foot. All right, didn't hit off my shin or anything. So, it just felt like the right option. So, I definitely felt like I got it in the locker.
And then, just on the feeling around the camp, and maybe the comparison now going into the final weekend, knowing that there's silverware to win, maybe compared to the feeling after Paris. Is there much of a mood difference, or did the camp always sort of know that this would eventually could play out like this?
I think it feels like a really good week. It almost feels kind of like you're playing in a final. And it's just the final round of Six Nations, but it feels kind of like a final that you're playing in. So it feels like a real big game, and there's a real good buzz about the week, and we know we need to be at our best. So I think everyone's bringing a lot of good energy to the week. We start off a real good training session. Everyone's kind of getting around themselves, looking over the small details, trying to get all the small bits right, especially a big week like this. I don't know, Kate, I'm talking about it. You're trying to putting everything into the week, because it matters a lot. Like getting your sleep right, getting your nutrition, recovering super well. So we'll kind of double down on kind of all the basic things just to be at our absolute best to fly into the weekend.
Owen and Brendan.
Hey Joe, just a bit similar to that. Just what about the buzz of this weekend? Just thinking 2 years ago was Scotland on the last day to win a Triple Crown, but it was a bit flat because the Brats haven't been lost the previous week. Where it just there seems to be a different mood around it this time, the way this tournament has gone.
Yeah, I don't know. We were motivated 2 years ago as well.
Sorry,
obviously coming off the back of a loss, it's a bit different. But yeah, I don't know. It feels really good. Like we just want to just kind of keep pushing on in a group. We feel like we're always feeling that we've got a lot of potential in our group, and we're still kind of chasing that down. So yeah, I don't know. There's just a great feeling. We want to be at our best. I think, especially because how good Scotland have been going. I'll just probably be our toughest game this weekend. So we need to be ready for that. And then I think we're just decided to really show where we're at, how we can turn up this week. So there's a good feeling, but we know we have to get all our stuff right, be on top of it, prepare super well, and be sort of at our best then to rip into the week.
Do you feel like there was probably from November and into that France game, there was a suggestion from outside that this side was on a downward curve, but you showed you're not now?
Yeah, we definitely didn't feel that inside. I don't know. I get really excited playing in this group. Like I train players who have like so much confidence. Like we've world class players, and I feel this training is super competitive. Both teams we have. So there's a lot of excitement, and I think even Gemma talked about it. As 50th cap, he feels like our team has so much potential left in us, and it's an exciting group to be part of. So it's a good feeling. So we'll keep chasing us down.
Brendan.
Hi Joe. Just looking at the player, he's packed so much in 3.5 years as a test player, but still only 23 caps. But where do you think you are now compared to that player who started against Australia in 2022, and how much more do you think is there in you?
I still always feel like a pretty young player. Like I kind of feel like I always have loads more to give and to get better at, and I feel like my game understandings get a lot better. Getting in, probably making more opportunities for myself now, maybe to where I started. I feel I can influence the game in different ways. Maybe you're a bit faster, you see opportunities, you get in the end of balls a bit more, you're a bit ahead of it in defence. So I feel like those sort of areas you get better at, and I don't know, it's always a process when you're playing. You have to keep getting better and evolving. So I feel good, but I feel like I'm still getting better every year, every game. Like even look back to games like a year ago or like last season, I'm like I look through a game and I'm like, geez, I feel way better than I was then. So yeah, hopefully just you keep kind of learning the whole time.
Ty Burns in here, I think after Twickenham, he was talking about the mini tries, like the maul that you would have stolen, or a big tackle, or a jackal or whatever. Do you feel the same when you do something like that? Is that as good as the 2 tries you scored for Ireland?
Yeah, 100%. I love getting the maul turnover or big tackle. There's definitely a satisfying scoring a try. Yeah, scoring a try is pretty cool as well. We'd like to get more of those maybe, but 100%. I love getting those. They feel that satisfying. You're getting a good scrum penalty. especially when your pack is kind of all in sync together, getting that feels amazing. So yeah, definitely a similar feeling to that.
Just on that, there's a stage a couple of years ago where a lot of teams, which will remain nameless, they used to make a point of celebrating those things. Slapping opponents on the back when they win a scrum penalty or whatever. It doesn't seem that way with the likes of you and Tig and others, that it's just a very natural thing that comes out, that you put a finger up in the air, you have a smile. Is that how it is? It doesn't seem like orchestrated the way it used to with some teams.
No, definitely, yeah. Sometimes you see something you do after a game, geez, that looks a bit cringy looking at yourself after a turnover, but yeah, it's pretty just natural. Whatever, I don't have pre-planned celebrations in my head for stuff. Some players do, but yeah, it just kind of comes out naturally. And I suppose when sometimes you're in the game, it's real tough. Maybe you've gone through a load of phases, and then it's a bit of a big pressure release when you get or it's a big moment in the game, it swings the game a bit. A bit of emotion comes out.
And Kieran, I'll wrap things up.
Just on that, you are still a young player. At this point in your career, are you still trying to get more powerful and putting on a bit more size, just about kind of maintaining what you have at the minute?
I always feel like I'm trying to get more powerful and faster, and I've kind of feel like I've been doing that. My scores kind of still go up. Seeing them going, and I'll probably get even fitter, even if you get fitter over a period. And yeah, exactly. So I think I still feel like I can get more powerful, faster, fitter. And hopefully I can do that for a few more years to come.
What's the balance or challenge of that? Keeping the kind of strength and the power and the size, while also adding, maybe a bit more fitness.
Yeah, it is hard because I think, especially in our team, I think there's a lot expected of you. In terms of, you can't just be like a big heavy lump that walks around the pitch. You're expected to kick, chase. You need to be a good line jumper. So if you're obviously too heavy or not as springy, you can't be effective there. You need to be good in the breakdown, good carrier, good tackler. And then still be affecting mauls and scrum. So it's always a kind of balance you're tinkering with, but probably something I feel more comfortable than, say, even you talk about me when I started out playing. I feel definitely more comfortable in my weight or whatever. Being when you're heavyweight at the start, maybe you're not as move as well, but definitely feel I'm getting better at that.